Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Raising Vibration Radio. I'm your host, Reverend Raven, and tonight we have a very special guest who is a beautiful soul who is going to share her gifts and talents, but also let us in to get to know the inside, the deep meaning of Colleen Craig. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her on. Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Raven.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good. Yeah, I had to laugh at the deeper meaning in the Colleen.
Well, I was reading your bio. I do a little pre-show on Blog Talk Radio, and I love that you're a double Sagittarian because Sagittarian is like the comedian of the astrological signs.
Exactly. And I've done a bit of stand-up here and there.
That is awesome. That is beautiful. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually an accountant by day, and I guess about around 2008, I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff happening in the house, some psychic stuff happening. I was a real one of those what do you call them? Addicted to readings,
Mm-hmm.
And somebody told me, "What are you doing? You should be giving readings. Like, why are you bothering me?" And a whole bunch of there was a whole series of weird events, like the electronics in my house wouldn't work for me, but they work for my roommate, and I went through a dozen light bulbs in a month because they just kept blowing out, and a lot of weird things that kept adding up to, are you going to pay attention? What is going on? So I finally said, I ended up in the hospital at one point. I had quit smoking and I was having a lot of, felt like heart issues. Turned out it was not, but it was pretty scary at the time, and I was finally like, okay, fine, I'll listen to you, I don't want to be a psychic. Who wants to do that? That's no fun, people judging you all the time. So, I'd have to, dress up and wear those big green earrings or something, and then, I was like, I'm not doing that. But anyway, so I basically got forced into going to a psychic development class, and actually, it turned out really well because I found out it was really easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that all my guides have a sense of humor. So that really helped. There was definitely a point a few weeks into it that I was like, oh, I get it. I can still be me, but I'll just help other people at the same time. So I started doing a radio show on Blog Talk with a friend of mine, and we did it for a couple of years, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, until about 2010. And then I had my own little show for a little while, and so it's been a culmination of a lifetime worth of weird things happening to get me to this point. So and now it's there all the time. If somebody asks me a question, it's like I have a compulsion to answer it because it comes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, so that's what I do. And then every once in a while I'll come on somebody's show and do some readings. And like I said, I'm still an accountant during the day. Which I had a coworker ask me, how in the world can you be an accountant and do all this, otherworldly stuff? Like they don't mix. And I'm like, exactly. You gotta go with it. So, yeah.
Well, if you enjoy accounting, though, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, right. No, because I have, I was born in that year or those few years where Jupiter and Capricorn were on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my Capricorn is very happy during the day and my Sagittarian's very happy, to be let out and have fun at night. So it works out very well.
That is really cool. So, to speak about your day life and stuff like that, being an accountant, so do you keep books for corporations or do you help individuals? What exactly do you do there?
No, I actually work for a large nonprofit.
Oh,
So,
how sweet.
yes, definitely. My job has to mean something to me. So I've been in nonprofit accounting since 2010. Or not 2010, since 2000.
Wow.
Since 2000, yeah. And, and being who I am, it's just, it has to mean something to somebody. And there's a lot of people that do a lot of good work, but they can't figure out what to do with the numbers. So my job is like to take all the good work that everybody's doing and put it into financial terms so financial people will give us money to keep doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
I'm still playing a medium there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And, so, I mean, that's how I think of myself, is like, I'm a translator.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it fits, it fits really well. It fits me really well. So, yeah, I enjoy both. I do enjoy doing both. And then I do a lot of comedy in between, everywhere. So they had me do stand-up at the Christmas party last year. For the staff. And, I pretty much ranked on my boss for 10 minutes, and it was pretty funny.
Now, do you do any comedian work making fun of spiritualism and stuff like that?
I haven't done that, although I have thought about it.
I have too. I think it would be fun.
It has to be the right event, so.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Sometimes some of these people take themselves way too serious. We're about, life is about laughing and having fun and enjoying it and stuff like that and really getting out there and make fun. I was talking to a good friend of mine and I thought of a good career for people is being a, sexual psychic.
A sexual psychic?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about, the psychic accountant, who does forensic accounting. Like, I know what you did. I'm going to find it.
Right?
Yeah. But the other hand is, laughter raises your vibration faster than anything I know.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. I was thinking like, these people call in and stuff like that, and I would see that they had a bald head. A guy would have a bald head, a bald spot, and I'd be going, oh, I see you don't practice safe sex. You got to keep your head at least 2 inches from the headboard. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, it was just an idea. It was a crazy idea. So
that's pretty good. Yeah.
So anyway, so that is really good. So you get to do things. And what kind of nonprofit do you work for?
I work for a food bank right now. I've been there about 3 years now, and they're doubled in size, or more than doubled in size, and really doing something called a food bank revolution, where they're really pushing produce for all, healthy food for students, and really getting a lot of the good for you fresh produce out to places that don't have that, instead of like your typical food bank, which would be like whatever the stores have left over, like lots of chips and lots of junk food and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're very concerned about people. The people I work with are all terrific, and they're really out to make a difference.
I'm so for that. I was happened to watch a program today on PBS because today was my day off. I work too. When I take disabled people to their locations, I drive. I'm a driver for them, and I really enjoy. I have to do work just like you. I have to work with something I believe in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so being of service is always. Bye, Darlene. Have a good time. Good luck on your show. I have to, I have to feel like it's of service to be able to do the type of work, any type of work. So, anyway, on PBS today, I was watching this program about where there's 35 states participating in growing food, teaching the students how to grow food, and then go in and prepare it and make it appealing in the kitchen.
Right, because nobody's teaching that anymore.
No.
Right. Well, and where I work, the food bank is just half of it because the other side is family services. So we have parent ed that teaches, nutrition for the family. They have parent ed classes. They have youth ed. They have after school tutoring. They have all kinds of stuff going on. We also do some refugee resettlement for some of the refugees that are coming over. I mean, there's just tons and tons of stuff going on all the time. So real focus on families also.
So tell me, how do your coworkers feel about you being a psychic?
They kind of get over their surprise pretty quick. Because, I don't know, I would like to think I'm not obnoxious about it, but if they ask me a question, it kind of scares them a little bit. Like, okay, that's like really creepy. How did you do that? I was talking with a friend of mine, and she asked about somebody in her family, and I described a picture to her, and it had to do with this silly cowboy hat that was not really a cowboy hat, and this man was wearing, and it was like a joke, like you move to California, you have to wear a cowboy hat. So she came in a couple of days later with that picture. It's like, how do you do that? I don't know. It just does.
Aw. I love that. So, is there been any other kind of like weird things happen at work with you because of what you do at all?
Well, it's funny, the people that are sent to me, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And had a really difficult year last year, and it was a woman that was dying, and she was completely in denial, and I had to work with her, and we shared a small space, and spent a lot of time on what's important, what's going on here, even though it was like incredibly frustrating at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a point to her being there.
Right.
And for the two of us to meet. So, I mean, that kind of thing happens.
Right. And they share things with you, right?
Right.
And so at that point, you allow Spirit to talk to you to give them the answers, or are you putting some of yourself in with it, or what goes on there?
No, I think it's definitely Spirit, because I had pretty much shields up all the time. I'm pretty sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a lot of negative, just, nasty energy, then my shields go up, but that doesn't mean that the Spirit still can't talk through me. Because I needed to hear the message as much as anybody else.
Okay, so I agree with that too. Whenever somebody is brought into our energy field and something is said and stuff, I always feel like that it is applied to me as well too.
Right. Exactly. I'm doing a reading for a friend of mine yesterday, and I'm thinking, oh, this is all really good stuff, applies to me too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I always felt, I felt really good after that.
My next question is for you, is that do past loved ones communicate to you as well? Or are you just communicating to spirit guides?
No, I'm definitely a medium, which has really changed my whole idea and feeling on death, because they're not dead to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually took a psychic detective class, because I thought that would be really cool, working with police and finding lost people and stuff like that. But my problem was like the first 3 weeks were all identify if the picture was alive or dead. And I got them 100% backwards, because all the ones that I saw as alive and thriving were the dead people.
Wow.
So it wasn't going to work for me, but that's how I see it. I never see anybody as gone, because they've just moved to energy. And they will still show up. In fact, when my father died I think it was about 2005 maybe, or must have been later than that, 2006, I told him, I'll talk to you in 2 years. Before he died, I was like, go to the light, I'll talk to you in 2 years. And he showed up like exactly 2 years later at this psychic development class. Like, okay, well, I'm here, ready to talk, So we talk all the time now, whereas in life he was kind of pretty unhappy and I was doing my own thing. So we hadn't talked like in 10 years before he passed.
Right.
But now it's like all that stuff is over, and it's the personality still there, but not all the angst and the frustration and the anger and all the crap that comes with living on Earth, as a human being.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess that's the only way I can explain it. It's like the nobody's really dead.
And I got you there, because we're all energy, and we're just transforming our forms at that point.
Right.
So, yeah. Hold on a second. I'm getting interrupted. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
It's like I'm not really doing a radio show right now, and I get bothered by people in the household. Do you ever had that happen to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, hello, do you see me with the headphones on? Like...
Right? It's like, hello, this is my time. I don't ask for much time, but I want to do this now.
I used to do, when I first started, I was really scared of just talking on the radio. Like, there's other people out there in the world. So I did a 15-minute show, and it was just fine. I would sign on, I would walk around the backyard and talk for 10, 15 minutes and say, bye, see you tomorrow. It was great. I didn't have anything else to say. That was just good enough.
Well, I'm so thankful that you're here tonight and that you're not shy anymore on being on the radio. Be amazed.
No, I get a little nervous ahead of time, but then as soon as I get started, it's like, oh, this is fine. I know how to do this. And Sagittarians, you get them started talking, they're not going to stop,
Exactly. I live with a Sagittarian male here who's 63 years old, and I take him out in public, and he just starts to talking, and he'll talk to anybody.
Right. I know somebody like that too, and I'm normally very shy and in myself, and I've part of this process is that I figured out how sensitive I am, so I know what that not everything is my issue anymore. So I'm much more comfortable going out, where I used to be able, if I had to go on a plane, I had to be sedated. And now it's, the last time I went, I didn't have any trouble at all, even though some guy like right next to me thought he was having a heart attack. So they had to do the whole EMT thing and emergency landing and all this crap. And I'm just like, like, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him, So, yeah, it's very different. I mean, it really changes your life.
So, I read on your website that you're writing an autobiography about yourself.
Yes, angels in my life. Well, one of the things that happened is you start to look back on your life, like I guess my conversion, so to speak, was pretty, I was pretty stubborn for a long time. So when I finally admitted that, I'm a psychic medium, I see spirits, things happen, I could go back in my life and start to figure out, there was a lot of weird stuff happening before I acknowledged it. Mm-hmm. And the more I started to look back and write it down, the more I found where angels intervened in my life. And it's just, it's a whole different perspective now, you know. There were times when there was no reason that I should really be alive because I put myself in very dangerous situations.
Mm-hmm.
But, my thing is saying you unplug a device and you plug the device. You unplug the device, you deplug the device. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
You gotta love the computer.
I know, the electricity stuff. So, yeah. So anyways, I thought, I'd write that story out and, and a lot of anecdotes and stuff like that in there too. So, I've got quite a bit started, especially my 2008 stay in the hospital, which was, it was very strange how it all happened, that they gave me the wrong medicine because they thought I had asthma, and I didn't. I have sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
And my blood pressure shot up, and I could feel like my brain exploded. It's like everything was turned on at the same time.
Wow.
It was like, it's so difficult to describe because I could feel it coming up from my chest, and then I could see, like the blood vessels in my eyes, and then like my whole brain was just full of light. And, of course I was screaming because it was like the most intense headache you've ever had in your life. Like, just imagine that every neuron turned on at the same time.
Oh my God.
It was just incredible. And so, that's about how far I am in the book now. So, just keep writing stories as I remember them.
That is incredible. Well, I do hope that you come back on the show when the book is, published and everything, so we could talk about it.
Oh yeah. And I definitely want to get the other one going too. The one, Messages from Trees is the other one I'm working on.
Oh, how cool. What is that about?
Basically just channeling messages from trees. Like, I discovered I could like get messages from like rocks and trees and water and different things like that. So I looked around to see if anyone had done anything similar, and I didn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I would just, basically channel stuff that I would get from nature.
That is really cool. So do like certain types of trees have the same message, or every tree just different, like we are human beings?
Well, they're different because, like a fast-growing tree has a different perspective than some of these redwoods out here.
Right.
Because they're ancient. They have a different sense of time. Whereas something, I'm trying to think, like, whereas a pine tree, which lives its life mostly in the cooler, colder areas and is much faster growing, has a different perspective on, what the universe is like. And I find that with different types of rock the same way, because this is like going to sound really weird. When you talk to something like granite, when you like try to connect in,
mm-hmm.
It takes a long time, relatively longer, because it's a very, very slow process. This is a process. This energy was made over millennia.
Right.
Okay? So they naturally talk slower.
Gosh, I can imagine that. And that's got to be, again, it's perspective, like you said, on each of their parts as time.
Right. And their connection to the whole of the universe. See, I like science, so I like, if I did it over, I'd probably be like a geologist or something like that, or some kind of nature sciencey person. but the way they're formed over the millennia has everything to do with the energy in the universe. So I'm one of those that believes that science completely melds with your belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least it does for me. And so I find that whole dynamic really interesting between, oh, well, here's the science of it. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense because here's the energy of it. Here's the psychic side of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I totally. And I love stones myself. I've been my whole entire life I've been brought up around my father and my grandfather were both gemologists.
Gemologists, yeah.
And so the neat thing about gems is that each one of them has their own vibration and own specific properties that help in certain situations for us, and they're really imperative to have them in your life.
Right. See, I would pick up river stones, or I would pick up, something interesting. And my mom was like, "What are you doing with these stupid rocks in your pocket?" Like, because they came from the river, and I just, had to pick them up and carry them around. And, so yeah, I didn't have anybody who like knew anything about this whole side of life. I grew up Catholic, and the whole you're supposed to suffer in this world and yada yada yada, all that stuff. So I've recovered from all that now, and I think there's just so many interesting things in life to see. There's so many things I want to do now. Of course, now I'm older, I don't have as much energy, but, it's like, I'll have to plan my stuff,
Right. I gotcha. Again, that's perception about the older thing.
Right.
You change your mindset, you'll be amazed how much energy you get coming your way.
Well,
to be able to do those things.
Yes, and that's something I been working on. But then I get somebody who reminds me, like, look, you work full time, you go to school, and then, you have like a life. So, maybe it's 'cause you're busy. So, yeah. My health is the one that's the sticking point for me. Gotta lose weight, gotta get those steps in, and take care of my body, that kind of thing.
Right. I totally understand that. So, people out there that are waking up, we all have some type of gift, right? When you say that.
Well, I don't know that it's a gift as it's just a fact. Yes, everybody has some way they can connect, and they're not all the same, and I would never try to presuppose that I know what all of them are.
Right.
I only know what happened to me. But yes, everybody that's waking up, and it appears to me that there's definitely certain stages everybody goes through. like at first you're like, oh my God, how cool is this? And I need to know this, and I need to know this, and I need to know this. And they try to learn everything all at the same time and talk to like hundreds of people. And it's like, oh, there's just so much and I have to catch up. And then like the next stage is, well, how come if I'm learning all this stuff, crap still happens in life?
Right.
And then somewhere along the line, you kind of come to reconcile those two things, and that's an ongoing process. Reconciling what I know, my spirit purposes, what my life is about, and the way that I live day to day. Like I'm terrible when I'm driving in the morning, because I'm always cussing people out. Well, that's not terribly spiritual. So, I keep saying, well, I'm going to try this thing where I do for like the next 3 days, just for 3 days. Every time I want to cuss at somebody, I will bless them instead. and see if the traffic doesn't improve.
Mhm.
Well, I haven't quite made it yet, so that's like a next thing. You'll have to get an update on that next time.
I will. I'll definitely have to, because I totally understand where you're coming from, because for me right now, I'm a driver professionally.
Oh, right.
And of course I have to keep my cool about me, but there's some days I really want to go off. Like, they can freaking hear me anyway, but I guess they can feel our energy when we're pissed off, though. From car to car.
Exactly. Even though they might not know what it is, they know, okay, that's not good.
Exactly. So I'm constantly working on that one for myself, and for the people that are in the car. And here's another thing that I do every morning when I set off into the vehicle to go out to do the driving for the day, is that I surround the vehicle with a lavender light of Saint Germain, and around myself and around the people that enter into the car, and the people that I come in contact during my drive during the day.
Right. See, that's great. I used to just put shields up like from Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
like put a little bubble around my car or something, and that was always very helpful to me. There was a time long before I was into any of this spiritual stuff, when I was driving down the road with a friend of mine. We were going really fast trying to catch up with some other friends of ours, and a car came into our lane like where we were, and it felt like the car was just picked up and set in another lane. It was like the weirdest thing. So I'm like all for protecting yourself and your car when you're out driving on a freeway or anything like that, because this stuff happens. I mean, there's spirit watching out for you all the time. Whether you know it, and you don't have to believe in it or not for it to happen.
Right.
True.
Exactly. One of the stones, we were talking about stones earlier, I have an amethyst in my car, which is the 12th foundation of heaven. It is one of the higher vibration stones that are out there, and I use it for protection for everybody that comes in the car. So
right. It's like having St. Christopher hanging from your rearview mirror or something.
Exactly.
It all works.
I got the peace sign hanging from mine, but whatever.
Oh, well, that's good too. And that doesn't stop you from wanting to cuss at people.
Right.
Peace, you stupid so-and-so.
Right.
Right.
And it's usually one of those people that cut you off that says coexist with each other with a bumper sticker on the back, and you're like, what? We're not coexisting.
Right. Yeah. Like, way to know who's, way to pay attention to who's around you, you're the center of the universe. That's right.
Exactly. All right. So you guys, we're sitting here, we're talking to Colleen Craig, Psychic of Light. Colleen, are you open to taking any calls tonight?
Sure.
All right. So if you guys want to call in at the number with the show code that we had earlier. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Christy. I didn't get to say hi to you guys when you came in. If you guys want to ask Colleen a question, do you need to hear their voice? Can they ask from the chat room, or do you need for them to call in?
I would prefer calling in. If you don't have any calls, I'll try from the chat room.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, what I usually use to focus in is what city they're currently in.
Okay. So, if you guys want to, again, you can even switch over to microphone and let me know that you guys want to ask Colleen a question. So we are here doing that. For people that are waking up, what kind of suggestions do you have for them for reaching out and really discovering who they are?
Take it easy. I know it feels like you want to catch up everything all at once. You got to cut yourself some slack. there's two different things. Like you're finding out a new way to live, and you're letting go of an old way that you lived. And you'll have to cut yourself some slack on not knowing before, and you're going to grieve for some of the things that you believed in that no longer hold true for you.
Right.
So, I mean, besides, make sure you laugh a lot, make sure you cut yourself some slack. Don't be all down and hard on yourself that you haven't got it all figured out now.
Yeah, judgment's a hard one, and it's usually against ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. That self-criticism is going to trip you up all the time.
That is amazing.
And that's why we need friends. That's why we need people to talk to,
Oh gosh, yes. We definitely need that network of people there to say, "Oh, you're being too hard on yourself. Quit doing that."
Right.
What are you freaking out here? What are you doing?
And every group has had their different thing. Like the group of people who are in the spiritual development class on Facebook are I'm gonna get the feather out. I'm gonna whack you with the feather. Like if you don't knock it off.
I would love to be knocked upside the head with a feather. That would be totally tubular. All right.
It's much better than the 2x4 that Spirit likes to give you,
I often feel sorry for my angels that hang around me during the day.
Yeah, did you ever see that meme where it's like they had the angels that were doing the face palm? It's like, this must be what my guardian angel looks like. Always doing the face palm.
I know, I missed that, but I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Well, I've discovered that most people have a joker or a fun guide, some kind of guide that helps you with not taking it too seriously part. Usually one of those, like the small sprites, or maybe a leprechaun, or there's a jokester usually in everybody's group.
Now, do you know do you know the name of your guides?
Well, most of them. I mostly have a chorus though, so that when a question comes up, then the one who's the perfect one for answering that question is the one that comes forward. Mm-hmm. I started working with Metatron and Jesus, and then somebody called Cassius, and then I actually had somebody else tell me that I had the one that keeps tickling me and poking me in the shins and stuff is named Jocko. He's my my jester person, my joker person.
Aww.
I don't know. I've seen so many different kinds of beings.
I loved how you called them a choir, and when you said that, like, I got this vision of Whoopi Goldberg in that movie where she dresses up in a nun
exactly.
outfit to get out and singing in with a nun choir, and that's what I envisioned when you said that.
Exactly, and that's how I see them. It's like a big chorus of people, and everybody has a little different thing. Like, I discovered I had like a cooking guide because I would get this little nudge. Well, because I'm not much of a cook, but I'd get this little nudge. Okay, you need to put in a 1/4 cup of water. Well, okay. Well, at first I didn't listen. Like, oh, well, then I'll put in a 1/2 cup. Like, Dodo, why don't you just do what he said in the first place? And it would come out really good. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I can cook really good. Well, if you listen to that little voice, it works out really well. But if you listen to the voice and go, oh, I know better, it doesn't work out as well. So, man, I've even called on, like, my homework guide, like, things like that. Like, you can ask for help in any area of your life, in anything.
Yes, I'm going to have to reach out and ask for help pretty soon because I'm having a hard time letting go of physical things that no longer serve me. You know,
Yeah.
I want to like totally super like wipe out everything that no longer, that I don't need a bunch of stuff anymore, right?
Right.
I couldn't find something today and it was really pissing me off because I'm human.
Right.
Okay. And
Right.
I get pissy every once in a while, and I got pissy today because I couldn't find something. And I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. I have too much stuff that
Right.
and I don't even know where anything is anymore. And it's driving me absolutely crazy. And why do we need all this stuff anymore?
Well, right, and I'm in the in-between place where I was homeless for about 4 years, between jobs, and I stayed at different people's houses, and, I had what could fit in or on my truck, and, even with that, now that I've been settled for a couple of years, it's like, why did I carry this crap around with me all over the place, what I thought was so important,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't looked at it in 3 years or 4 years. Why was I thinking this was so important? So I've lost everything, I think, 3 times. So I've kind of got over the whole physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've been working and I want to like have stuff, there's
Mm-hmm.
this whole fight going on. Like, you don't really need to spend money on that. You don't really need it. You know? Um, so it's been kind of a struggle back and forth now because like, well, I work all the time, so I should be able to have stuff. It's like, but you don't really need stuff. So I'm still working on that one.
Well, again, if it's something, okay, first of all, if you're working, you're saving money, do you have somebody, are you going to leave your money to somebody or something like that, or?
Right, right.
I mean, why can't
Well,
you
no,
spend the
because
money and enjoy it?
yeah, but I'm spending ahead of what I'm earning. That's my problem here.
Poor Jackie, she says, I wish I could get rid of everything, but the hubby and the kids
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be too
doing.
happy.
Yeah.
Get rid of the kids and the hubby.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't do that, Jackie. I'm just kidding. They make our life richer.
Well,
Every
see,
day.
this is why I live alone.
Yeah, they are great. Well, you know what? I can understand. I have to be around people myself. So I love I'm a caregiver. I always have been, always will be. And I enjoy the people in my life, but at some point, so I have to get in my car and get away to be alone. That's the only time I get alone time is when I'm in the car.
Oh, see, I have as much as I can take. I'm much better than I used to be, but yeah, I'm really an introvert. I really have to recharge. I have to have that time where nobody's asking me anything.
Right.
Because all day long people are asking me questions. And it's very tiring for me. So I've got to have that recharge time.
Yeah.
That's what sheds are for. Oh.
They're talking about the crap.
Yes,
It's just
exactly.
too much crap. All right,
Exactly.
so I'm gonna start this since everybody's being shy in here and not going to ask you. I'm in Florida. What does the guides want me to know?
Which city is that?
I'm in St. Petersburg. St. Peter. I'm a saint, right?
Yeah. St. Petersburg. Okay. First thing I see is a spider monkey, and why do you feel like there's a monkey on your back? My guides are very literal.
Okay.
So, what is this that's like a monkey on your back? Like you can't get rid of it. And it's a spider monkey, so it's like not a real, like a big gorilla or anything, like this huge problem that's weighing you down, but there's something highly annoying that you can't seem to get rid of.
It's my son. He's 23 years old.
I was going to say, is he in his 20s?
Yeah.
He won't be gone till he's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I see a lot of clear skies for you. Like the really nice day where there's the really high puffy clouds, but not enough to like block out the sun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of blue sky. So, I think things look pretty good for you, look pretty clear for you. Yeah, other than the small annoying things.
Yeah.
Alright, let me check, let me see if I can introduce you to a guide here.
Okay.
I'm getting somebody that's wearing a crown, but it's a small crown like a prince. And I almost want to say like Prince Charming, but that's the way he's introducing himself to you, and it's kind of a joke. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's Prince Charming, but he's not even alive in this life. He's your spirit guide.
He was alive in this lifetime. He's no longer with us.
Oh, okay. So, but he's wearing this crown like if this was the joke. This is your Prince Charming. Okay.
Yeah.
He got, it's like short brown hair, and anyways, he's wearing this like it would be like a costume from a play. Okay. And he's just smiling. He's just smiling ear to ear at you. Do you have a dog, or was there recently an incident where a dog got lost and came to your house or something?
Well, I have 2 dogs now, but we just lost one to disease back in June. And then before that, I had another one. I've had dogs my whole life.
Yeah. He wanted to talk about the dog that was lost. So, if that's the word you're using, then
Sam gets out and gets away from me, and then I have to go hunt him down, and I have to post all over Facebook to get him back and all that stuff.
Is he a little white one, like medium-sized white hair, whitish?
He's a Jack Russell Terrier. He's a tricolor.
Wire hair.
Yeah.
Wire hair? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's that one there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's teasing you about this escape artist here.
Yes, because you want to know what I say every time he gets out. This is what I say. I say, damn, I give this dog it's like a male, right? You give him all the love, you fix him food, you take him for a walk, you pet on them, you give them all your love, and they still want to run away.
Well, my male would escape, and then I'd find him sitting on the porch, like, waiting for me.
Oh, mine's too stupid. He rides the short bus.
Oh, no. Mine was pretty smart. Oh, he was too smart for his own good. Yeah, but he's your Prince Charming is like, yeah, don't worry, he's not terribly worried about it, because he's always gonna watch over that dog.
Aw, that's good. Because he loved dogs when he was alive. He loved them just as much as I did.
And he knows where Sam's going. It's like, so he's like making sure he doesn't get like in serious trouble.
Dang, that's a good thing. That is a beautiful thing. Because there's so much traffic here in St. Petersburg. The reason I worry when that little shit gets out is because I don't want him to get hit by a car. That's the last thing I want to happen.
Well, what I keep seeing is Sam following the sidewalk, and that your prince there won't let him cross the street.
Okay.
I mean, that's the image I'm getting. Like, he's always there making sure Sam doesn't cross the street. He can stay on the sidewalk and just keep going, but like every time Sam tries to turn towards the road, then this guide is there to tell him no. And since the dog can see him anyway.
Right.
So.
Right. Oh, speaking of being able to see spirit and stuff like that, I don't know if this happens to you with your spirit that hang around you and stuff, but like when you go into a restaurant or into a shopping center and there is a child there, a baby, an infant that's not talking yet, and they start staring at you and looking, to the left and to the right of you. Do you have those experiences?
Not specifically that I recall, but I do like, to make babies laugh. I I've noticed them staring at me, but not around me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so not quite like that, but this does remind me of another story. When I went to the Grand Canyon for the first time, and I kept smelling smoke, and I couldn't figure out where is the smoke coming from, and I wandered around all over the place. I couldn't find the source of this smoke, and so I just sat on a bench and I said, show me, and I just saw the whole place with, different generations of Native Americans, and there was some older Native American that was having some kind of ceremony, like not too far away from where I was. So it's like really interesting to go to a place and say, okay, show me, and then just see all these beings that, or the way it used to be, or people who used to be there, you know what I mean?
Right. That is so cool. So, is there anything else that they might want me to know? And then we got Corinne's going to be brave, and she's going to join us next here. So
I'm not scary, really. I'm not.
I know you're very sweet guy. I love your humor.
I'm just getting a lot of peace around you.
Finally in my life, I deserve it too. I'll tell you that much right now. Ooh, I toot my own horn.
Well, good for you. I mean, there's no thing coming. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like I said, I just keep seeing the clear skies, clear road ahead kind of.
Beautiful.
Sign, everything's good. And I think for a lot of us, this is one of the messages that's been coming up a lot. Because the last few years have been, just crazy. Like, if it's not one piece of crap, it's another. If it's not, this turn around this way, turn around that way,
Yes.
Everything's been crazy.
Yes.
And I think for a lot of us, the next 2 years are gonna be like, oh my God, everything's falling into place.
Right.
And like at an unbelievable rate. And
I'm looking forward to that. I think we all deserve that.
Me too.
I'm so ready for it.
I'm like, oh, am I ready? Am I ready? I don't know if I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Okay, all right. I'm going to bring Corinne on here.
There you go. Okay.
Hello, Corinne.
Hey, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Great.
Okay, so where's my Prince, Psychic of Light?
What city are you calling from?
I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Springfield, Mass. All right. Okay, northeast of you is what town? Like closer to the coast?
Northeast. I'm really bad with directions.
Okay. See, because I got a little picture in my head of a map. And so if it was like the mitten, you'd be like going towards like
Boston.
It's Nantucket.
No, that's the south side. North of there, like I know north of Boston is Marblehead, and then a little bit farther north of that, like it's not. Well, it may not be a city area. What?
Okay. Well, there's a bunch of towns there. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, little town. Anyway, there's this tall blonde guy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I hate blondes.
Well, guess what? You gotta learn a lesson.
Tell me he's not wearing Drakkar Noir cologne.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know about that.
You don't like that cologne? I think that stuff smells great.
Too much Old Spice, check for lice. I hate that.
This is a young guy. He looks very young.
He is young. I know what you're talking about because there is a guy in that area that likes me.
Oh, well, you asked me.
Okay, so that's my Prince?
That's what I got. Yeah. And it's like, it's not like totally blonde. He's like brown blonde.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's tall and thin, and he looks around 35.
He is 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly who came up.
Okay. But you guys, I'm so much older than him.
So?
It doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
Yes. Age is just a number.
You
know what? Women don't hit their sexual prime till they're up in their, their 40s, late 40s, 50s, 60s.
I'm not a nice 35-year-old. I'd be very happy with this one. I'm not going across country, but,
Right.
Look, if you don't give it a chance, you don't know.
Right.
I mean, he's a nice enough guy. What could go wrong? I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Right. I know. Right. Yeah. I know.
So it's really about your fears.
Yeah.
It doesn't look right. This isn't what I was looking for. He's blonde. I don't want blonde. Whatever.
Put a pillowcase over his head.
No, he's really cute. He's really good looking.
Yeah, I mean,
but listen, I'm afraid that when he meets me, he's going to be like, man, she's a lot older than I thought she was. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, but that's your fear.
Right.
And so now you ask the spirit world, where's my prince? Like, well, he's there and you've already met him. You're way ahead of all these other people. So.
Well, I haven't met him yet, but
what? So you're talking to him? How do you know him?
I met him online through a friend of mine.
Right.
But we sort of have a floating date that's supposed to happen one of these days.
And one of these days you will, and it'll be fine, and he's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you this, what I'm getting is he's genuine. He's not a deceiver. He's not playing games. He's actually a genuine person.
Mm-hmm.
And he appreciates your little quirky, crazy side.
Good. At least somebody does. Yeah.
Right. See, that self-deprecating stuff, it's like, you kind of get tired of that after a little while.
Yeah.
It's really okay. And remember, we're here to experience.
Yes.
So why let your fears get in the way of having the experience? Whether you decide to go and have this date and have lunch or dinner or whatever, it's going to be great for your experience. It's going to be great for your growth. And he's a nice guy.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know your name, Psychic of Light.
Oh, it's Colleen.
Colleen. I'm sorry, Colleen.
That's right.
Okay, so, Colleen, do you see me getting out of the frickin' I'm in a whole bunch of shit right now, and not to get particular.
You made me choke.
But am I gonna get out of this? I mean, it seems every time I turn around, I've got something else on my plate, and
did you hear what I just told Raven about how these last couple of years have been just crap on a plate? Mm-hmm. Every time you turn around. Well, the next 2 years are going to be different. But here's the caveat. You have to change your attitude about it.
Right. Well, I'm pretty positive. I know I don't sound positive at this moment, but I am pretty positive. Ask anybody. I'm cackling away constantly.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
good.
know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, but I mean, whatever.
Well, right, but sometimes it just gets to the point where everything is funny and you just can't take. She's a freaking ray of sunshine. Yeah, that's that before too.
Jackie, you know it's true, Jackie. She's busting me.
Well, I'm confused, Corinne. I thought I read a post that you got engaged or something on your timeline.
That was for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, I fell for it. Oh my God.
Oh.
I know. And in fact, that guy asked me last night, he goes, didn't you just get engaged? I go, no, you silly thing. It's for...
Oh my God. I thought you were engaged and here you are asking about a man. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm confused.
You know, you're fine. Everything's fine. It's just, life. And yeah, all the crap rains down at one time. But it's between now and the end of the year, you're going to see it start turning around.
Okay, good.
It's like October now, so it's not that far away.
Right.
In 6 months, you'll forget half of what you're worried about now.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Well, that sounds fantastic, Colleen. Thank you. And I might add to before I mute myself, Raven, you need a purple energy plate. So I don't know what the holdup is for you ordering one, but the website's there. Get to it, girl.
I need to. Actually, aren't you going to be on Mama D's and Jennifer's show coming up soon?
Yeah, you know what? It's supposed to be October 23rd, and I think she booked something else for that day. I'm not sure. Jennifer. Yeah, I gotta figure that out because I heard her talking about the 23rd and it was somebody else. It wasn't me, so I gotta figure that out,
Jennifer's going, what? Did you book it? I thought, cause I was gonna wait and go to that show and buy one there, but I'll go to the website and do it before then. Actually, you should come on here and do it and talk about the purple plates on here too, You're more than welcome to.
Oh, and I would love to talk about my book too, Sandy.
Yes.
So anyways, yeah, so that would be so much fun. I love that idea. So I hope we can plan it sometime soon,
Yes, I'm totally agreement for it. And I feel the same way as Colleen does. I think that your life is going to get way, way much better. And as for the 35-year-old, God, use them and abuse them while you can.
Well, you guys, and get this, he's got 3 vacation houses. What the hell?
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's so sad. I don't know.
Let's just hope he's not overcompensating for something else. Let's just hope that everything's good and normal for him, okay?
Yeah, totally. All right. Thanks, you guys, so very much. And I'll just continue to listen. I'll mute myself.
Okay. Thank you. So you guys see, Corrine, she was brave and she came on here and she asked a beautiful question and shared her life. You guys come on and ask your questions. Anybody gonna ask? Anybody? Throw that microphone on there. All right. Since we're waiting for somebody to be brave here, is there a message for our listeners? Just a general message out there.
Well, I have a watercolor of a tree spirit I did, that he pops right up and, God, I can't remember his name. He popped right up as soon as you started asking the question. And it's like the first thing he's saying is, like, be nice to the environment, be nice to each other, be, he's very much into, about, and around the base of trees. So get your feet in the grass, hug a tree, do all that corny nature stuff. we're headed into, well, you live in Florida, but, a lot of places are heading into winter. So it's like, hurry up and get that chance now, before it's too cold, because it's going to be another one of those crazy cold winters. Green. Surround yourself with green.
So, the best thing for us to do right now before the winter comes on is to get out in nature, pick one of those beautiful days. Of course, here in Florida, it's always beautiful, but get out there and get in touch with nature, get barefooted and walk around, right? And
Right.
connect to that energy.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I like to do is I like to go to this one park that's on the water on the Gulf, and they have this little seawall around this little fishing area with picnic tables, and I like to lay down on a blanket and look down into the water from the seawall and observe what it's like for the fishes and the little creatures under the water. And I even make up dialogue what they might be saying to each other. Now, I know that sounds nuts, but I like to have fun that way.
Right. Right. They all have their little lives. I went out on the ocean for the very first time about 6 months ago. I went on a whale watching trip, and I wanted to connect to the water, and I found that there is something called Deep Mother. You know how there's Earth Mother, but there is also Deep Mother. And she's the one that is the ocean. She is the water that spreads herself around the whole earth. And I had never heard anybody mention her before.
Right.
I just thought it was really fascinating and something I would really like to connect to again. So one of the things I hope to do this week while I'm off is be able to take a drive out to the coast again and, just hang out for a little bit. So right now with the energies in this country are crazy. And they're going to be that way for the next 4 weeks or whatever, or, 6 weeks.
Right.
So we even more so need to ground and get outside and turn off the electronics, and breathe, The simpler the thing, the better it's going to be for ourselves during the day, talking about day-to-day things, because I know I've been getting kind of, I was getting, getting sucked into all that,
Mm-hmm.
and getting sucked into, negative energies at work, and then negative energies on Facebook, and just, getting madder and madder and madder, and I really needed to step back. And I think that is the message for all the listeners today, is you gotta step back.
Right.
Turn off the electronics. Just go do some deep breathing. Get outside as much as possible. And things are definitely going to be turning around, for everyone here.
I am so glad to hear that, because I wish that for everybody every day when I do my gratitude and stuff like that, is that everybody has everything that they want that's for their best and highest good all the time.
Right. Right, but these are long-term plans. People who have had projects that have been sitting on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about school. Like, I've been going to college since 1979.
Oh, you're a professional student. All right.
So, I just can't decide what I want to be when I grow up. So I keep changing my mind. But that kind of a long-term plan, that's what's coming to a head in the next 6 months to 2 years, is people who have had long-term plans and long-term goals are going to start seeing those things become accomplished. Okay?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a little different. It's a little different energy. Like everything right now, and everything in the last couple of years has been like, there's always something in my way. There's always something tripping me up. There's something turning my attention to something else. That.
Oh, let's see. Did I lose you? Oh, for some reason your microphone went dead again. So you might want to refresh your screen. That is one of the energies right there with this. She's going to be right back. Hold on, and I'll unmute her here. We were having this issue in the beginning of the show, and we did very well. We got up to, here we go. Let's see if she's here. Are you there? I don't hear you talking. Okay. You're going to have to totally get out, refresh the screen, and come back in because I unmuted you and I can't hear you at all. So, here we come again. This is going to work. Y'all get the energy out there. This is going to work. We're going to be able to hear her when she comes back on. Unmute. We're going to have that voice again. It's going to be there. It's totally there. Sending that energy. Sending it now. Yep. She's coming back. She's coming back. Where'd you go, Colleen? You got to come back. Oh, she went off again. Here she comes again. Third time's a charm. Here we go. You better come back because these poor people don't want to hear me sing at all. Period. End of discussion. You better put that microphone on there.
Oh, no,
Not
please
working.
don't sing.
Please don't sing.
Please don't sing.
Oh, Brian, you're too funny. Not working. Well, we have the phone number here. Let me put the phone number in and you can call in with your phone. Let me see if I can get the number here real quick. Here we go. I'm copying it and I'm going to paste it in here. And you can call in with your phone. You said you had that for backup, so maybe we could try that. Except I don't see her on the screen anymore. Let's see what happens here. Hi, Kathleen and Jennifer. Thanks for showing up tonight, girls. I thank all of you guys for coming. I feel blessed because you're here. Let's see. She's trying to get on here again. There, let's try this. Okay, are you there? Yeah, your microphone's not working. I can see that. I posted the phone number in there. Can you call in with your phone? See that number there? Yep, I'll call. Okay, great. So we'll continue the show. So as we were talking about earlier when Corrine is on Jennifer, you guys are doing a show on the 23rd, right, of October, which is coming up. Is that like next Sunday or something? Yep, okay, good deal. Is that going to be on IntuiTalks? Yes, great. You guys can catch that show right here on IntuiTalks.com. It's 3 Points of Light, and it's hosted by Jennifer's Journey, Brian Clover, and Mama D. And they're going to have Corrine on, and they'll be talking about purple plates and whatever else. Oh, I guess the book too, right, Corrine? You'll be talking about your book there? Yes, good deal. All right. So we're just waiting on Colleen to call back in and stuff like that. If you guys have a question that you want to ask her, you could type it in the chat room. But she does need to know what city and state you're calling or, asking your question from. Okay, there's Colleen there. Right here, let me get her on. There, you're on, right?
Okay, you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. I don't know what that was. It just went out, and then that was it. Couldn't get back in.
It happens. It's my freaky energy on here.
Yeah, that's right.
I have this freaky, crazy energy, and it creates this chaos every once in a while. It's that spider monkey on my back again.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, so Jennifer, she's got her microphone on, so we're going to bring her on. She wants to ask. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going
Hello.
good. Can you tell?
Yes. I just figured before we got cut off, I know Colleen probably has something real good to tell me, so I'm willing to hear it. Tell me something good, Colleen.
What city are you calling from?
Crete, Illinois. I'm near Chicago.
All right. Yeah, I thought I recognized a little bit of that Midwestern accent. All right, Jennifer. Why am I seeing somebody throwing snowballs at you?
Oh, please. Because it's coming. I know it's coming, and I hate snow.
Yeah, that's why I left Missouri. That was too much. Okay, so what I'm seeing right off the top is this little person that is wearing a black derby type hat, and he's the one throwing the snowballs and laughing up a storm. So, have you ever noticed that you've got a trickster in your house?
I've got a big trickster in my house.
This would be a spirit one.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's me and the dog, and yeah, I got a lot of tricksters. So would you mean like a Kentucky Derby hat?
Right, yeah. Like a bowler, is that what you call them? Like a black bowler?
Okay. I gotcha. Keep going.
Okay, and he doesn't look to me like a regular leprechaun type person. He's more like a midget, a proportioned little person.
Okay.
And he's wearing like one of those vests that has like all the really loud flowers on it with a flower in his lapel.
Okay.
And it doesn't match anything else he's wearing, because he's wearing like black pants and black shoes, but then he has another colorful shirt underneath, like he doesn't care. He's kind of the clown, but he's also kind of the person who looks out for you.
Okay.
And he keeps bringing up this dog. So the dog sees him, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Because the two of them, I can see the two of them like conversing.
Yeah.
And actually the dog is like the one like, would you chill out? Like, could you just chill out?
Yeah, it's
and
wild.
You know, he's not gonna. He's just yeah. Do you have wood floors? Wood floors with baseboard?
Yeah, in part of the.
Is that the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. He's there. That's where he hangs out a lot. This is where him and the dog meet up.
Yes.
Why? It's a kind of a plain hallway. I don't know why this is like their place, but this is their place. And he's not telling me anything about your future or what's going on or anything like that. He just wanted you to know that he knows that you know, and we all know now. Okay, yeah. You're not crazy. It really
I
is.
know I'm not crazy. That is very interesting. Yeah, because I know, Casper usually knows who is here, and Yeah, that's very interesting. And in the hallway. Wow, right on.
Yeah, definitely wooden floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Oh, well,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Yeah, he's very happy now. Everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, why, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer, for calling in and being brave. I'm going to put you back on mute there.
Yeah, I think Jennifer has some fun in her house because there's weird stuff that goes on. I said, he's a trickster.
He's a trickster. I think
he likes to move stuff, you know.
She says, "Yep, he does."
Yeah.
Jackie, are you trying to call in, or is she gone? Because I think that looks like we have one more trying to connect with a microphone, but I'm not seeing anything for her. Jackie, if you're there, can you please type in the chat room to let me know you're wanting a question? Spirit's taking her away. She just went bye-bye.
Oh, maybe she's resetting.
Well, she can't hear you right now. Laugh out loud. Okay.
Yeah, all this technology is great, but, you know, for all our high-energy friends, it's kind of, you know, difficult to keep it together.
Right? Okay, we got Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Hi. I sound okay?
Do what?
Is the sound okay? I was trying to do the audio test before, and I couldn't figure out if I had it on the right mic or not.
Oh, you sound fine to me. You sound beautiful as ever. So what's your question for Colleen?
Question is, in about a year and a half, our family has kind of a transition to make, and I'm wondering if there's something I need to do to prepare for that.
Prepare for transition in about a year and a half. Not right now, but what I'm looking at is like 3/4 of the way there. So if somebody wants to do the math, it's like there's a bright white bubble on this timeline, okay? And I'm not sure if this is where that you need to do something, but that other people's attitudes is going to change. Because I feel like right now there's some people that are in denial. And I feel like at this point, more people are going to become aligned with how you feel about it, okay? There's kind of like a coming together. So it looks like maybe, 4 months before whatever this 18-month is. And I'm getting really strongly that there's nothing you need to be doing. Just be who you are. Just be who you are. Just be, okay? I just get this feeling like you're going along in the straight line. It's the people around you who are not handling this very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like there's this big coming together about 4 months. So that's like, about a year from now, a little over a year from now. Just know that you are fine. You are fine who you are. You're the one that's the example. And you're doing that by using all the tools you know. You know who you are. I really feel that deep down you're like solid. You know who you are. and I don't know, you just emanate, like, it's not exactly peace, but it's the, like, understanding. It's not like, oh, everything's great, groovy. It's like, yes, we will do this, okay, kind of thing. It's an attitude. I can't put it into words very well, but it's your attitude about life that is getting you through. You're the one that's the example, and you just have to wait for everybody else to catch up to you. Okay? I feel a little bit of panic. I feel a little bit of rushing time. It's not really about that. It's about being and being present. Okay? So the only thing I would say to you is don't get caught up in the panic or the fear or the denial. Do your thing. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks, Jackie.
Totally.
Okay. So, well, we are pretty much at the end of the show anyway. I wanted to talk to you real quick before we sign off of here. One, I want to thank you for coming on and playing with me tonight. You have been absolutely a dream boat to play with. You know, you're fun.
Thanks.
You're exciting, and I love it. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You've been a true joy, and I hope you will come back on the show because you are absolute delight and beautiful, and I love it. And but I wanted to talk about your services that you have to offer. I went to your website, and I'm seeing that not only do you do readings, but you have classes and coaching too.
I haven't started that yet. That'll be coming the first of the year.
Okay. And what's the spirit art that you're doing?
Well, I do a lot of watercolors and drawings. There's some samples on my website. And I can do those. Those are basically guides. Also, I do mandalas. So I can do a custom watercolor mandala for anybody by, tuning into your energy, and then I let Spirit tell me about the colors and the shapes and stuff like that. So it's a very unique gift. You can get one for yourself, or you can get one for somebody else. So I really enjoy doing that.
Okay, so if you guys want to get a reading, or if you want to get some spiritual art, or maybe hook up with some classes in January, the link to her website's right there in our little presentation window. You just hit that. It'll take you right there to her website. You can also like her Facebook page, facebook.com/Colleen Psychic of Light, and click that link and be sure to like her page. And thank you guys all for coming out tonight. Do you have any closing words for our listeners?
Don't take yourself too seriously. Just, it's all right. It's all good.
All right. There you go. Words of wisdom to follow by. You guys have a lovely Monday evening. Cannot wait to see you guys next Monday. And Colleen, thanks again so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Goodbye, everybody.